All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Here we
You already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Yes, you are. As Deion Dawkins said, listen, Real Deal Sports Show. Good morning to you. Welcome, first Saturday of the new year, January 4th, 2025, and welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show. We're coming at you live. Deion Dawkins, now a three-time Pro Bowler, just named to the Pro Bowl earlier this week. Congratulations to our friend of the show, the Snowman, the one and only Snowman, Deion Dawkins, and also Josh Allen getting on that Pro Bowl team as well. And first, I want to open up by dedicating this show to our friends. You know, my favorite city. You know where I love to be when I'm not in Rochester, and that's New Orleans, Louisiana. And I want to dedicate the show to the people that lost their lives, and also the first responders and people that came out to save the lives of many more people that could have been that were seriously injured during this senseless attack by this clown out of Beaumont, Texas. This clown, that's all I'm even going to say his name on the air, just to wreak havoc at a beautiful time of a new year. People bringing in the new year and trying to celebrate the new year in style in a beautiful town that's known for hospitality, the great food, the proximity to everything in town, great music, always having a good time in New Orleans, Louisiana. And thank God you bounced back with delaying the Sugar Bowl a day, as well as getting everything in order and getting increasing security in New Orleans after this idiot did this dastardly act by running his car, getting some kind of way, getting his truck onto Bourbon Street and just running people over. I mean, we really got to look at our military people and check them out to see what they're reading online and what they're worshiping and all of this stuff. Because it seems to be a lot of military people involved or ex-military people involved in dastardly acts here in the United States of America. They come back home and I don't know what happens, but we salute the show. Let's find out. Same thing with the people. Thank goodness nobody was hurt out in Las Vegas, Nevada, where another on-duty military guy came all the way from Germany just to blow himself up in front of the Orange Man's Hotel there, which is ridiculous. Another senseless act there of violence. Luckily, no one was injured but himself, mostly in that incident there. But our thoughts and prayers go out to New Orleans, Louisiana. The first responders, we dedicate the show to you for all that you do. We appreciate what you do. And we looking forward to Radman and the crew of Real Deal Sports Show. Look forward to seeing y'all in less than 4 weeks now. I can't believe it. Less than 4 weeks, we'll be down broadcasting live from Radio Row from New Orleans. I almost said Las Vegas was great a year ago, but this year, New Orleans, Louisiana at the Convention Center. We will be broadcasting live. We're already booking guests for that week of shows starting on February 3rd through the 7th. And you can check us out on YouTube. Like us, subscribe to the show, because we come each week. We live from the Advantage Federal Credit Union studios. Each week is where we broadcast into you live from, and we bring you the very best there is in sports commentation and sports analysis. We don't tell you about what we heard. We're over here talking about what we know. That's what we're doing here on Real Deal Sports Show. And we're going to open up the phone lines today. First of the new year, we'll open up the phone. BacSpin is in studio engineering the show, doing a great job as he always does each week. We're going to open the phone lines. Area code 585-595-1055. We're opening up the phone lines this morning to give you an opportunity to make your comment on what you feel was the best event of 2024. What do you feel was the best sporting event, the best of the year in review? What do you think was some of the best that we have? But I'm going to open up with current news. Saquon Barkley possibly may not play. It sounds like he won't play in the final game, and he'll miss out on having the opportunity to rush against his former team, which I thought was juicy enough to run against your former team, the New York Football Giants, and run them over as the Philadelphia Eagles. All he needs is a little bit over 100 yards, 102 yards to surpass Eric Dickerson's record. And as the guy from the live Two Stew broadcast said, on his show early in the week. I appreciate what the lot of guys said on live too. Stu, one of the Stu brothers there. Hey, the record, the guy did it in 16 games. We're going to week 17. So this guy gonna take 17 games to get over 2,000 yards and surpass Eric Dickerson. He made it to 2,000. He needs another 100 and some yards to pass Dickerson. How can that be a record when you didn't do it in the amount of time? The real record is 14 games, and that was by the one and only the Juice, Orenthio James Simpson, who we know as the Juice, who I've been on this show for years promoting about, hey man, I ain't talking about his off the field and troubles and problems that he had off the field. I'm talking about the Juice, the one and only, 2,003 yards in 14 games, and we got a chance to see almost all 14 games back. I was 10 years old, 1972, when the Juice was running loose. He had 8 men in the box, 9 men at the line of scrimmage trying to stop the Juice, people making threats before the game. How can you, who don't remember the Monday Night Football game? And yes, the Bills did make Monday Night Football. They didn't have that great a team, but they had the Juice. They had the Electric Company, the offensive line, Reggie McKenzie, Joe DeLamiere, and those boys, man, they were hyped about blocking for O.J. Simpson. And these offensive line love, that's their glory, of helping their running back run the free glory. And on that Monday night, Al Beauchamp, who could forget Al Beauchamp of the Cincinnati Bengals? He said he was going to put OJ in a stretcher, make sure he personally put him out the game, put him in an ambulance, and send him to the nearest hospital with serious injuries in that Monday night game. Made those threats before the game. And what happened during the game? Bubby Braxton, the fullback, ran over Al Beauchamp. Time and time again, Al Beauchamp came to the line of scrimmage. The defense, he was the linebacker, one of the big bad line. Back then, the linebackers were the mean, violent cats, man, that talked a lot of talk from the Dick Buckuses and guys of that, or talked a lot of smack before the game, during the game, and after the game. Well, Al Beauchamp got run over by Bubby Braxton so much, and the Juice started putting his footprint on him, putting his spikes on his cleat mark in his chest. Late in the game, the Juice broke free, slipped down, fell down, got back up, and he saw Al Beauchamp coming. He allowed Al Beauchamp to catch up to him, and he gave him the wicked forearm shiver, a wicked shiver, laying Al Beauchamp out. And the Bills ran on to win that game on Monday Night Football, and the Juice was totally loose in that game on Monday night. I mean, he scored the touchdown, another touchdown, ran for over 200 yards. Howard Cosell called it one of the greatest games that he ever seen on Monday Night Football. And what did Al Beauchamp do after the game? While Howard Cosell was interviewing the Juice, Al Beauchamp ran up to Bubby Braxton and spit in his face and ran to the locker room. Howard Cosell saw this, and he had not reported on it live on the TV and to all us back home. He said, I had never seen such a cowardly act by a so-called NFL player, or what he just witnessed Al Beauchamp did to Bubby Braxton. That's all he could do. He spit in the man's face and ran cowardly to the locker room after he did it. And the Bills followed him. Bubby Braxton, they were waiting for him at the bus after the game. Al Beauchamp didn't want to come out. Howard Cosell said it was the most cowardly act he ever seen after a game. Where was the sportsmanship, the shaking of the hands after you got your butt whooped like that? And so that was just one of the many memories of the Juice running loose and being threatened by other players. But this man he averaged over 143 yards per game, had over, still in the record books. And I'm talking not Buffalo record, I'm talking about National Football League records. 2,003 yards is the epitome. That they try to nonchalant because of his off the field action. They try to show it to you on the TV screen like it wasn't. Hey, that still should be at the top. 14. If you can't do 2,003 yards rushing in 14 games, you ain't got the record. Shaquan Barkley is a student of the game. I think he sees it and recognizes that, hey, he's having a great season, but he really isn't at the top level. And so isn't Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson used to get hit. He used to cough the ball up. Man, that guy used to fumble a lot. He earned it. He earned the record. He got what he got. 2,105 yards in 17 in a 16 game season, which he did. It's 16 games. That's 2 games more than what the Juice. That's simple arithmetic. So Eric Dickerson doesn't have the record. Last but not least, the Juice is still top in the running back of the National Football League. 2,003 yards in 14 games. The man just ran over the New England Patriots, the Jets. Used to love seeing them just run loose on all these teams and frustrate these teams so much that they talked a lot of violence about what they were going to do. And who could forget, last but not least, the Thanksgiving game, 273 yards on Thanksgiving Day. We hadn't even gotten the turkey out the oven yet, and the juice ran all over the Detroit Lions out there in Auburn Hill. This ran all over the Lions, man. I'm telling you, the man showed up. When it was a big game, the juice showed up. And the electric company got him loose. Joe DeLamiere, Reggie McKenzie pulling guard. They were running folks over. They were punishing defense. And remember back then, you could clothesline, you could throw a forearm, you could tackle any kind of way you wanted to. It was almost like a free-for-all back in the 70s. You could tackle, you could throw punches, you could scratch, you could gouge, you could do all of that. These guys today don't tackle like they tackled in the 70s. So, hey, y'all got to learn your history. Check your history book out. The juice ran loose all throughout the 70s, 72 through 75. Those were the best years of me watching Buffalo Bills football until, of course, they run for the 3 Super Bowl titles. And now this year, Bills trying to get their act together and having a very good season. But the Bills, the National Football League, you can't forget about the juice. No matter how much you do, you try to forget what this man's accomplishments or downplay his accomplishments. You just can't do that to the juice. And if you want to call in area code 585-595-1055. Call in and you could get on the show and give me your what you feel was the best sports story. It could be a game, an event, or a story in 2024 that you felt was the best, one of the best articles or games or events of 2024. And I also, if we get off of that, good luck to Saquon Barkley in the playoffs. If he plays tomorrow for the Philadelphia Eagles, excellent. If not, hey, that's cool, because he understands the record is not the record. It's really not the record. Keep in mind, everybody, football fans, look it up. I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And the juice, 2,003 yards, is the epitome of football running back, the best running back ever to play the game. Jim Brown, O.J. Simpson, Jim Brown, those are where you are at the top. Eric Dickerson is number 3 after those two guys right there, the juice, Jim Brown, Eric Dickerson, and then you got the best of the rest, including my man Barry Sanders. I enjoyed Barry Sanders, great player. He just quit. He said, hey, it's time to retire. He retired healthy. He wanted to get out the game. We see him each year. Hopefully we'll get a chance to interview Barry Sanders and some of the other Yellow Jacket guys. And the Yellow Jackets are the Hall of Famers. We know Hall of Fame guys usually come down on Radio Row, and they look forward to interviewing some of those cats on Real Deal Sports Show. Yes, indeed. And remember, you can call in, area code 585-595-1055 if you have any questions. Next up, what about Walter Payton? Hey, J-Lo says, Julian Randy says, what about Walter Payton? Walter Payton, all these guys are great. Julo, I'm talking about the greatest. All these guys are great. Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, but nobody, and I mean nobody, turned it on like the juice. 2,003 yards, 200 yards, 3 consecutive 200-yard games. Look, the man still got 6 to 7 NFL records on the books. He still got records on the books for the National Football League. This man ran for more 200-yard games than anybody else. Opening day, his record for opening day lasted until about, 5-10 years ago, when one guy happened to have a big day on opening day football. Rushing yards on opening day. This man's record has lasted more than 50 years? Come on. Hey, I understand why off the field you got a problem with it. I'm not supporting him off the field. But remember, when you play like that and you taking painkillers and stuff to play, and then next thing you know, you're getting into cocaine and all of that or whatever else happens, good things usually don't happen when you're taking a list of drugs and things of that nature in your daily life. And that's what seemed to be the place there. So remember, I'm talking about on the field. And I'm sick and tired of NBC, Fox, and all these sports networks not giving this man his due. They try not to even show his picture. When they show the top running backs of all time, they try not to even put his picture up there, which is disgraceful. And the Buffalo Bills, you don't even speak up on this guy, which you really should. The guy brought a lot. He kept the team in Buffalo. If it wasn't for him, the team would have been in Seattle, Washington, because that's where the owner wanted to move the team the following season. He wanted to move the team to Seattle, Washington. But instead, the team stayed because the Juice ran for over 2,000 yards. And Ralph Wilson didn't want to pay him. The opposing owners, the owners of all the other teams, they all said, hey, when you play the road games against us, we'll pay his salary. And that whoever heard of something like that, the other teams, the owners, because they would get a sellout, they would get a full house whenever the Bills came to their town because everybody wanted to see O.J. Simpson. So don't get it twisted, y'all, with this media and everybody just saying whatever they want to say on the air and not having the real facts to back it up. Don't listen to this fake news and all this nonsense that people read a newspaper, look things up. You got Google, look things up. Look how many consecutive 200-yard games this man had. Come on. Let's look at it, y'all. Talk about, the Buffalo Bills coming up tomorrow. And that was the Radman Rant brought to you by Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. Miriam Rivera, check her out for auto, home, health, life insurance. Hey, Miriam is waiting on y'all. Check her out. It's a brand new year. New things with your insurance, auto, home, health, life insurance. The award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, auto, home, health, life insurance. 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Give her a call. Area code 585-360-0094. That's our girl, Miriam Rivera. Man, friend of the show. She's been with us all along. You know, Miriam, her staff keep getting bigger. She's getting more and more people because she keep winning more awards. But she don't care about the awards. She care about the quality of service that she's given to you and her clients throughout the area. So definitely support Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. If she saved me and my family a hell of a lot of money, I guarantee you she'll save you and your family a hell of a lot of money as well. And also Rock Palm Brokers, Deal or No Deal is going on, 559 State Street. Give them a call, 585-262-9920, or just stop on down 559 State Street and check out Sammy and the crew because they back up. It's on and popping in 2025 with Deal or No Deal. You can get your stuff pawned, get something brand new. He got a lot of brand new products up in there too. The jewelry is off the chain. They create the jewelry for you as well. So check out Rock Palm Broker for the new jewelry, all of that new stuff. And he'll make customized jewelry, the whole 9 yards. Rock Palm Brokers, 559 State Street, 585-262-9920. Check him out for sure. Next up, the Buffalo Bills play a meaningless game tomorrow against the New England Patriots. And I'm looking at the Bills roster. And tomorrow, we should be seeing a lot of the guys off the practice squad getting an opportunity. Mike White, the former New York Jet quarterback. The Bills brought him in this season. Mike White, he must have been doing so well in training camp and throughout the season, working with the B team, working with the scout team, that they not only activated him for the game tomorrow. Adam Schefter is saying that the Bills have already re-signed Mike White to a 1-year contract for 2025. So it sounds like they like what they're seeing from Mike White. Look like we'll probably see him and Mitchell Trubisky tomorrow. Josh Allen will start the game because he wants to keep that streak of starts active. He got one of the long. Believe it or not, the way even the reckless play that Josh Allen used to play and starting, he still kind of plays reckless every now and then, but he playing a lot smarter the last 2 seasons, especially this season. And he broke his hand in the first game of the season when he tried, once again, playing reckless, when he tried to leap over the guy and go and scored that touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals. He actually broke his hand, and he played with a broken hand most of this season. That's why he had the glove and the 2 fingers all taped up on his non-throwing hand. He's a tough cat, but this guy, Josh Allen, he's learning to play better, and they now Mike White is showing something. I think he deserves it. It's remarkable that Josh Allen even has a streak. You would have thought he would have missed some games by now due to the reckless style of play he used to play with. But he wants to keep that streak alive. Josh Allen to start the game, maybe play 1 series at the most, maybe 1 or 2 plays at the most, and Mitch Trubisky or Mike White.
Who's this?
Who you got?
Yeah, I got you too.
Yes.
Okay, hold the line. Okay, what's your name? Hello?
Yeah, see, we got a caller calling in, so we're going to check that. But it's amazing that Josh Allen plays with the reckless abandon. Josh Allen will start the game. Mitchell Trubisky will probably come in, and then Mike White will play as well. And I also want to see, our wide receiver, Terrell Shavers. I've been talking about my diamond in the rough all season long, Terrell
Hello?
Shavers.
Tell me your name, please.
Yes.
Ernesto Walker.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Ernesto Walker.
Anesta Walker?
Yes.
Okay,
BacSpin.
hold on one time.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to see tomorrow with the lineup. Terrell Shavers coming in at wide receiver. Hey, why isn't Curtis Samuel on the bench? I mean, Curtis Samuel has a lot of injuries. He's just like he was when he was with the Washington Commanders. He's injury prone. He spends more time on the injured list than on the active list. I would move up Terrell Shavers for the playoffs and replace Curtis Samuels in that position. That's one move I would make going into the playoffs for the Buffalo Bills. BacSpin, sounds like we have a caller on the line.
Yes, we do, Radman. We have Anesta Walker live on the air. Miss Walker.
Yeah.
You are live on the B1055.
Yes, go ahead. You have a question for the show.
Congratulations to Simone Biles for being nominated Sports Person of the Year by Sports Illustrated.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
I said,
Are you on a speakerphone?
I want to say congratulations to Simone Biles for being the Sports Person of the Year by Sports Illustrated.
Simone Biles. Beautiful. Well, great. Well, definitely
Yeah.
Simone Biles. BacSpin. She's saying Simone Biles, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. She's the woman or the athlete, sportswoman of the year.
All right. That's a good point. Thank you, Ernesto, for calling in and mentioning that. Simone Biles. Yes, indeed. She had a great year, and she was definitely with the Olympic team. She was a true standout in 2024. She definitely made us all proud during the 2024 Olympics during the season. So she's definitely in my top 3 of sporting events or people that made 2024 a great year. Simone Biles, and it sounds like she was named Sportswoman of the Year, like she definitely should have. She's definitely on point. And remember, please subscribe to YouTube and Facebook, Real Deal Sports Show. It costs you nothing but means everything to us. Remember, subscribe to YouTube. Like us and subscribe. You'll get our notices. And you get to see, when you subscribe on YouTube, you'll get to see all of our shows coming live from New Orleans, Louisiana, February 3rd through the 7th. And also go to our website, realdealsportshow.com. Like us, miss comments on there. Leave comments. There's a page on there where you can leave suggestions and leave your comments of what you think of the show and things of that nature, and what you think of the website as well. Kimmy does it best, did a great job with the website, realdealsportshow.com. Check our website out. We got my updated articles from Challenger Community News talking about the Patriots game, talking about the New York Jets game that we just seen last week, the Jets. Man, let me get into that game now as you go. But check out the website. If you want to read the article, read it each week in Challenger Community News, or you can catch up on every article I've written this year and last year are up on the website, realdealsportshow.com. I've been a journalist for since 1984. I earned my degree in journalism from Canisius College of Buffalo, New York. People ask me, say, hey, how you get the right? How you know? Because I'm a journalist. I have a degree in journalism. That was my field of trade in college. So I enjoyed the journalism field, and I'm still continuing to write. I've been writing ever since. I was like 10 years old writing. Won the award, the writing award for the YMCA back when I was back in the summer camp. I won the writing award there. And someone said, hey, you might be a writer. And sure enough, in college communication, I have a degree in communication, specializing in journalism. So check out the articles. Let me know what you think of those. And that's on realdealsportshow.com. Definitely. And subscribe to the show on YouTube because it's going to be big. A lot of things happening in New Orleans. We'll be there February 3rd through the 7th, broadcasting live from the convention center. And now getting back to the Bills-Jets game. Like I wrote in my article, it was more an indictment, not on the Bills, but an indictment on the New York Jets. What were you doing with your organization? Why would you allow Aaron Rodgers to take over your organization and not know what he's doing? You can see why the Green Bay Packers never took his advice. They just said, hey, you just stick the quarterback in, Aaron. We'll handle the player personnel. And that's what and you can see why. The Jets went all in with Aaron Rodgers, and now they're all out. I mean, one of their worst seasons ever. The safety, Jerome Davis has some great photos. Check those photos out on RealDealSportsShow.com, the website. Great photo. He got an excellent photo of the safety when AJ Espinosa sacked Aaron Rodgers in his own end zone for a safety in that game. You can see his eyes, and you can see him like he freeze up, like, hey, I don't want to be out here. And he doesn't. He shouldn't be out there playing. He's a guy that shouldn't be playing next season. He shouldn't have played this year. He just basically showing us that you washed up. He can't move. If you can't move in today's game, you can't be an effective NFL quarterback. You can't just be a drop back passer, a pocket passer only. You got to be able to know when to get out of trouble, when to move, when to make a move, and when to get out of trouble on the football field. And that's what Aaron Rodgers seemed to have trouble with. Is making a move and trying to get moving off the field and getting the ball down the field. The man can't move at all. But what I think for the Bills tomorrow, here's some guys I want to see play tomorrow. I want to see Zach Davidson at tight end play a little bit, see what he can do tomorrow. I want to see Daquan Hardy, a defensive back, see if he can come up and play. Kareem Jackson, he's up already. Let's see what Kareem Jackson can do. Louis Shine. Louis Shine was a former number 1 draft pick of the Minnesota Vikings. He played for Georgia. He won the MVP in their first championship game. He was the MVP of the game because he's such a good defensive back. The Bills had moved him to safety. And my thinking is why the Bills moved Louis Shine from corner to safety is because he's a bigger guy. And I would not be surprised when the Bills get into the playoffs, especially against the Ravens. And then after the Ravens, when the Bills play the Kansas City Chiefs for all the marbles to go to the Super Bowl, I think Louis Shine will be on one of the tight ends, and then you move, and then Teron Johnson is a little too small. You'll have Teron Johnson and another guy double team Travis Kelce. They'll double team Kelce, put Louis Shine on the second tight end because that's how Kansas City's been beating Buffalo all these years. They beat Buffalo because their tight ends are so much bigger than the Bills' defensive backs, and I think the Bills. McDermott has been learning that, hey, we got to get bigger defensive backs out on the field. And I think that's why they picked up Louis Shine. We haven't seen Louis Shine as of yet, but I think we're going to see him once we get into the playoffs, deep into the playoffs. Maybe the Ravens game. I don't think he'll be in depending on who the Bills play in wild card weekend. It could go from Cincinnati to Miami to Denver. So it could be any of those squads coming in for the playoffs time period. So I see we have the Fanatic coming in from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, down there, trying to get things together this morning. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show, Fanatic, and Nala. Welcome to the show as well. Welcome you both to Real Deal Sports Show. How's it going this morning, Fanatic?
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Right. Good, but some of our friends been sick.
Yeah, but we're gonna come back talk about our friends. So we're gonna talk about some football today because we were really excited. We watched highlights this morning of our guy. You remember him for the Lions, our favorite receiver, who we root for? Amon-Ra St. Brown. We're excited for our guy Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Lions and the Vikings. I know we're gonna take a little derail in that. Radman, have you ever seen a game of two great record teams like that, but both seem so flawed, but they just keep on winning? Have you ever seen a game where it means so much? It's the number 1 seed versus then it goes down to the number 5 seed playing on the road for all the marbles. Have you seen a game where it means so much at the end, Radman? Never
in the history of the NFL. Usually the NFL is a lot more teams that are of equal value. Usually there's a few great teams, maybe 2 or 3 great teams, and then a bunch of average teams, and then a few bottom feeders. But the last few years, you got a lot of bottom feeders in the National Football League. To me, that's the problem. Look at these bottom feeders, man. The Saints turned into a bottom feeder. The Patriots, your Patriots for the last couple of years been a bottom feeder. You got the Giants and the Jets both been bottom feeders for several years. It's amazing that the NFL has so many bottom feeder teams, meaning teams that don't maybe have two to four wins at the most, that they have a double-digit losses. That's what I call a bottom feeder. And you see a team like the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions at 14 wins and 2 losses, and the Green Bay Packers is right in there too, a very good team. That's amazing that division has won so many games, high-scoring affairs. Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind this year. He's having a very good season. I never thought Darnold. I knew Darnold could play better than what he played with the Jets, but I never expected Sam Darnold to play this well in the National Football League. And that's a credit to the coach, Kevin O'Connell, who helped bringing him back and getting him started and playing with the confidence that he's been playing with the entire season. But, I think that's going to be a good game on Sunday night. We're going to talk more about that when we get to the pick'ems side of it. But one thing on the Buffalo Bills, before I finish up on the Bills, I want to see Terrell Shavers replace Curtis Samuels, as I said earlier. I want to see Daquan Hardy play a little bit. See this week, Kareem Jackson, Lewis Shine. Lewis Shine, I think, will be key in the playoffs, especially against Kansas City, because Bills got to get bigger to cover their tight ends. The Bills get killed by the Kansas City Chiefs tight ends. That's where you got to see that. And also Kingsley Jonathan, so maybe get some action tomorrow as well. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Richard Gorridge at tackle, possibly giving Deion Dawkins a week off. Richard Gorridge, like to see him play the entire game or most of the game. Give Spencer Brown a break. Let's see what some of these guys. Vandermark been playing very well. He's earned a start. Maybe Spencer Brown and Dawkins get a break. And then number 62, Cedric Van Pran Granger, the rookie center out of Georgia. He was the center on Georgia's on both of their championship teams. He's played in high pressure games. Let's give him a start and give McGovern the day off and see what these guys can do. See what these young guys can do on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. The Bills have some nice talent on the practice squad, so it's a blessing that now you can have 15 guys on your practice squad. Back in the day, you only could have 5, but due to all these injuries and they're playing more games, you had to increase the practice squads in the National Football League, because you wouldn't make it through a season with just 5 guys on your practice squad. Because look at some of these teams. Some of these teams are totally depleted on the offensive line or defensive line. You got teams that have been struggling all season. So right now, you got the real good teams and you got the bottom feeders. It seems like there's no middle right now. The NFL got to get back to parity. Used to be complaining about parity. We don't have parity right now. We have top teams and we have bottom teams. We have very few teams in the middle. And then you got team pretenders like my man over at Vision's Barbershop. I thought he would call in this morning, talk about his Steelers, man. What a fraud they've been, man. They look like they're a top team, and then as soon as they get into their top part of the schedule, they can't even win a game, man. And Kansas City went right through them. The Ravens, they always fight, and them and the Ravens get it on good too. But I didn't think they would lose all 3 of those games. And you got teams like the Steelers pretending to be a playoff team. And they love wide receivers that throw their helmet, take their helmet off, and cuss folks out. Man, that's just their type of receiver.
Yeah, they can find some receivers, but they get them the same. Man, they get the temperamental, talented. You don't know what they're gonna do. I love this week where Terrell Owens, he was covering for Russell Wilson, but not directly. He would have said 14, George Pickens. If he would have actually ran his route professionally, that pick wouldn't have happened. I feel like some of us folks yell at the TV and they like, man, that quarterback stinks. How you throw that pick? Where it's not always on the quarterback's fault. I love Keyshawn Johnson. He always says,
"What's going on?"
Keyshawn
Johnson.
What up?
All right, hold the line. I'm gonna get you in, okay?
There it is. I know we might have a caller coming in real quick, but yeah, I just love it, folks. And not all interceptions are created. Hold the line. I'm gonna get you in, okay? There we go. Bro. Go ahead, BacSpin. We ready for you. What up, BacSpin?
What up? What up? What up? What up? We got a call on the line. Y'all ready?
Bring them on in, whoever it is.
All right. Jarrell live on the Beat 105.5. What's up, my brother?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Great. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show, Jarrell.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
Feeling
good.
What's
your question? What you have to say?
Well, what I was going to say, so, me and my man BacSpin, me and BacSpin go back to my brother right there. We Cowboys fans, right? We had a really hard year, right? And so, but living in Rochester, you can't help but, root for Buffalo, man. You want to see them do it. So this is what I want to say, because there's a lot of Buffalo fans that's like, Josh Allen's MVP. Check this out. Everyone fighting over who should be MVP, but who cares, right? In 58 years of Super Bowls, 11 regular season MVPs have gone on to win a Super Bowl. 7 of them were quarterbacks. Bart Starr, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, and Patrick Mahomes, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody remembers regular season MVPs. They remember Super Bowl winners and Super Bowl MVPs.
Right.
We got to stop having that mentality of my team might blow it in the postseason, whatever, right? Winners only care about Super Bowls. 31 teams fail every year at having a successful season, and 1 team has the ultimate season. So, me personally, Buffalo Bills fans, stop worrying about the MVP. Lamar Jackson won it how many times, and how many times he won the Super Bowl? 0, right? Y'all need to be focused on winning the big one, right? Get that Super Bowl MVP. It means so much more in the regular season, because most of the time these regular season MVPs don't even make it. They didn't even get past the postseason. You know what I mean? So I wish y'all good luck. I definitely hope y'all win. 14-3 would be a great season for Buffalo. I don't think y'all haven't seen. I mean, what did y'all do? Y'all went 9-2 at the beginning. Y'all went 9-2, and y'all haven't done that since '92. So this is a blessing, right?
Yes.
Oh boy, go out there, win it all, man. You know what I'm saying? Win it all for Buffalo. They deserve it. And stop treating us Cowboys fans like we the reason why y'all ain't won one. Like, look.
Not me, man. Wait, but who's doing that, man? I'm unaware of that one, man.
Listen. Look,
it's because we took a Super Bowl
we
from
get upstate New York, man. Be Buffalo Bills fans. They hate us because we responsible 2 out of 4.
For 2 out of, that's a fact.
The NFC is responsible for that, So with that being said, it would be beautiful if it was Buffalo and Philadelphia. So y'all could go in and beat Philadelphia, because us Cowboy fans hate Eagles anyway.
Yeah.
Go in there, beat the NFC East, you know what I'm saying, and win y'all first Super Bowl, man. And that would be a blessing. That would be beautiful, because I would have a lot to talk about in the whole year. I'm just saying.
Jarrell, thank you for coming on, Jarrell. Appreciate those excellent commentary. Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
Yeah. And Fanatic, they did beat us well with Michael Irvin and Emmett Smith and all of those guys. That was a good team. That was a team. That was a legendary team.
The playmaker.
The playmaker. Number 88, baby. He had to do it. That Michael Irvin ain't no joke now. But y'all should have won the first one against the Giants. Scott Norwood with the wide left, or what was it, wide right?
Right.
Wide right. But even I think Bruce Smith even said that you guys should have won that game. Thurman Thomas even said you guys should have won that game. It should have never came down to Scott Norwood's foot.
No, should have never came down to it. We dominated the Giants and should have beat the Giants by running the football. Instead, they were trying to make Kelly the star by throwing the football. And they only had, Bill Belichick had 3 guys on the line of scrimmage with everybody back. That was an odd, we hadn't seen that before, just 3 guys at the line and everybody fell back. And that was and the Bills still threw the football. Instead of, it could have ran draw plays and could have picked up. Thurman should have been the MVP of that, not no Otis Anderson. People don't even remember Otis Anderson was the MVP of that Super Bowl, because they couldn't find nobody else on the Giants, because the Bills just should have blew them out. That should have been a blowout. Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick made their name off of that one. That was their second Super Bowl win at the time when that took place in the early 90s. But the Bills should have won that one. And then Washington just went to sleep on Washington the next season. Should have beat Washington too. I thought they could have beat the Washington, but they couldn't. It was just a poor matchup against Dallas. Dallas was just the team, and Dallas deservedly didn't do anything. They didn't turn the ball over, because Dallas, to beat Dallas back then, Dallas had to beat themselves, and they weren't doing that. They've been doing that ever since Jimmy Johnson left. They've been beating themselves since he left. Wish he would have left sooner. Bills probably would have got one back then. But this next segment is brought to you by the Advantage Federal Credit Union at AdvantageFCU.org for auto loans, Visa cards, student checking accounts, and much, much more. Student checking accounts. Sign up for their student checking account. I know J-GILLZ is working on something now with them for their student checking account. Auto loans, 4.99%. Hey, you get a better deal in town. That's why the Radman rolls with them. Advantage Federal Credit Union at AdvantageFCU.org. Check them out. You looking for a car? There's a lot of car deals going on now with tax season getting ready to come in the picture. Check out that 4.99% rate, auto rate on new or used cars. Hey, you can't beat that. Nowhere in town, Fanatic.
Right on that. Right on that. Hey, well, go ahead, Radman. Go ahead.
And we get back to the best in the college football. What do you think of the college football playoffs?
Yeah, to me, man, I've been really enjoying it. To me, it was a really fun fact to see that none of the top 4 teams actually made it through. All the teams who got a bye, none of them won their first game. It made me think about, sometimes where folks who have the byes versus in the NFL versus the teams who play each and every week, they had that momentum. Usually that bye team takes a little bit of time to get readjusted to to playing football again and then playing that football at that high level. So to me, it was really interesting to see all 4 teams lose, the top 4 teams lose. So I think the semifinals are going to be great. And you get to see it down in Miami and Jerry World as Jerry Jones know how to make some money, man. So it's going to be interesting. I definitely like the Penn State Notre Dame under. I think that game is going to be a hard fought in the trenches. If your team is like my team in New England, you need some offensive linemen. Look at Penn State. Look at Notre Dame offensive lineman, defensive lineman. That's going to be a really great game. And then Ohio State, Texas. Man, that is going to be a beautiful game. It could be a national championship in itself, those 2 teams. So it's going to be interesting. Both teams that are playing each other, Ohio State, Texas, they mirror each other. Very athletic, very teams that could score 40 on you just like that. That Jeremiah Smith, he should be allowed to come into the NFL draft today, the number 4 receiver, number 4 for Ohio State. That boy is bad. That boy bad. He would be rivaling Travis Hunter for the number 1 pick for my New England Patriots. So it's gonna be fun. And again, I love just seeing the styles make fight. Penn State, Notre Dame mirror each other. Ohio State, Texas mirror each other as well. But we would be remiss if being down here in South Louisiana, real eerie feeling down here, man. It was sad to see just a terrorist attack by an American national. We're not going to get all political, but, man, just to know that some of the people who just were trying to have a good time on Bourbon Street on New Year's Eve, man, that could have been so many people that I know. So thank the man upstairs and everybody that I know is okay, but we know that there were folks who are lost and who are still injured and trying to recuperate in the hospital from just that heinous attack that they did in that beautiful city of New Orleans in such a great area, the French Quarter. So it was definitely a sad day down here. And so I'm glad that they did postpone the game. I would have been okay if they postponed it further, but totally understand people's flights and trying to get to the game. So it's going to be interesting next week, though, Rad, man.
Money talks, man. Money talks, man. They didn't want to move that game out of New Orleans, man. Lose that revenue coming through there.
No way.
No way. I heard somebody talking about moving it to Houston. That's all. They're not going to do that. New Orleans,
not a chance.
They're not going to let that money get out of New Orleans.
The Sugar Bowl, with the granddaddy of them all, we know the Rose Bowl. Sugar Bowl is one of the OGs. Yeah, New Orleans, we're looking for that money, and they're looking to double dip. Because we know the Radman will be there, Real Deal Sports will be there, the Fanatic will be there, J-GILLZ will be there, DJ BacSpin hopefully will be there too. The Super Bowl will be down in New Orleans.
In 4 weeks. I mean, I can't believe it. It was this January 4th. We'll be there landing on the February 2nd, starting broadcasting live with Onstage Plus Productions starting on February 3rd. So it's less than a month away now. Unbelievable how the time has flown this year. But we're coming up. All roads lead to New Orleans. Check out the show. That's why it's important to subscribe to the show on YouTube. You'll be able to see all that. Last year we had Kirk Franklin, we had Mary, we had this plethora of guests each day come on the show. So look forward to it again. And usually with Gospel Celebration being on that Wednesday, we usually get the gospel, whoever's on the lineup. I don't know who's on their lineup for Gospel Celebration when they tape it. It airs Saturday on the national major network on Saturday, but they tape it on that Wednesday evening. And I'm sure we'll have Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin usually shows up. He's a regular each year on Real Deal Sports Show. Coming to you live. He'll be on. He usually comes through, and whoever some of the other major artists that's on the list this year probably will come on as well as others throughout the week. Fanatic,
make sure to like, subscribe, get on that. Hey, you might be coming on the air, free giveaways. Make sure you come check us out. Can't wait.
Can't wait. And quickly, the picks of the day. I think Tampa, New Orleans, there's no way New Orleans is going to play and allow the Atlanta Falcons, their dastardly arch enemy, to get by. I think New Orleans lays down on the job against Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay will beat them by more than 14. Green Bay, I think Green Bay has slaughtered Chicago. Chicago already done ran for the bus the last 2 weeks. They just can't wait to clear out their lockers after the game tomorrow. They may lose by 15, take 14. Take Green Bay winning by more than 10. Atlanta should do the same with Carolina. Atlanta needs to win. Atlanta should cover the 9 against Carolina, even though that's a tough division game. Yeah. And the big game of the day, I like the over 56. Some places got 60, but I think it's going to be over. And I think the Lions are going to find a way to pull this game out. I think Darnold throws a key interception late in the game that seals it for the Lions. That should be a very entertaining game, Sunday Night Football. I've never seen 2-14 and 2 teams go at it where one ends up at number 1 and the other ends up number 5, Fanatic.
Crazy. Yep. Hey, I like all those picks except I like Carolina plus the 9. Carolina had a chance to run for the bus and they did not. My 2 quick non-NFL stories. Kawhi Leonard, NBA. This is why you got a problem. You're paying all these cats big money. Radman, I told you earlier, Josh Allen played with a broken hand basically since week 1. Jalen Hurts with a broken finger. They're playing, and we can't get our NBA cast to play. Come on. Kawhi, just retire. We can't. You're not a broadcaster. We know you don't talk. But Kawhi, he out here trying to force himself to play. It's January. It's 2025. We ain't seen Kawhi, the former Claw, in all of 2024, man. It's just a shame. And to know that he getting paid $50+ million a year to sit on the bench in street clothes and then not even give us no sound bites? Come on, man. And my team of the year, I'm going off the beaten path, but I'm going Homer all day. My team of the year is the defending national champions. That is gymnastics, the LSU Lady Tigers. Gymnastics, they opened up in their season last night, ranked number 2, beat Iowa State. Haley Bryant is the GOAT, a young black woman killing it in gymnastics. So take your kids places. You never know what sports they will like. Gymnastics can be a sport that we don't talk about enough. It's an elusive and really athletic sport that can help in all phases of life, especially for young ladies. So shout out my team of the year, LSU national champions in gymnastics.
Congratulations. BacSpin, one quick note. Thank you, George Pickens, Debo Samuels, and all your wide receivers for getting my running backs back to be the highest paid. Watch now. You're not going to see the wide receivers with their loud mouth getting paid big money for a while. Now it's switching back to the running back. Thank you, loudmouth guys, George Pickens, and you guys that don't want to play and don't, because now money is coming back to my favorite position, the running back position. And don't forget the juice, 2,003 yards. No one has come close in 14 games. Then we'll talk about a record. Talk to me when it's done in 14 games, y'all.
Yep. Like, subscribe. We appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. The Real Deal Sports Show.
You know, I got to interrupt this real quick, BacSpin, because I got to shout out to you. Back on top, our fantasy league. We down to the finals. We got Big O. I don't know how my team did its thing last week, but I ain't never seen a week like my brother had, man. So shout out to Big O. BacSpin. Yeah. I got to pay homage. My team was ready to win the chip. I wish I would have played you last week, BacSpin.
I bet you would have, yeah.
I would have had you there with T. Higgins, Jonathan Taylor.
I was crossing my fingers, hoping I was gonna get that win. I was like, I can't come this far to lose.
Yeah, man.
I gotta get to the chip. But me and Big O, we done made it to the chip, and I'm excited. Although a lot of my starters aren't even playing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his starters, and they all in the game.
I was going to say, your BacSpin next year, we got to end it in week 17.
We will. We will not. We gonna end it probably in week 16.
Now hold on. We need week 17. I need it every week. I need it every week to get to where I need it. My team was scrappy, man. But yeah, hey, shout out BacSpin with that best pick ever, having Saquon Barkley. That was the pick of it all.
Yeah.
I picked Breece Hall before Saquon Barkley. What was I thinking?
I deserve it. I was glad he was left there for me because he definitely got me in the chip. So hopefully I could pull it out like I've been doing all season, man. But we up against it.
And that's the running back position. See there, the running backs are back. Aneska Walker, thank you so much you've been with us every week of this season. Thank you for supporting Real Deal Sports Show throughout 2024. And now already you back on board already for 2025. Thank you so much, Aneska Walker.
Yes, indeed. We're up against time, my brothers. Happy New Year and more prosperous things in 2025. Y'all have a great one, all right?
No doubt.
Keep it where you need it, Rochester, New York. You already know what it is. The Back in Time Mix Show is on the way in a few minutes right here on the Beat 105.5.